At ibinigay ni Eliezer ang sign ng engagement, which is a ring. Anong klaseng ring? Engagement ring, natural. Pero anong klaseng ring? Earring, nose ring. Ayan. Ganun sila nung araw no? Kapag engaged na, nose ring. Parang baka. Nasiluhan na. So, yun ang ibig sabihin no? Ngayon, so mula doon sa third scenario, pumunta na ng bahay itong si Eliezer. Kasama si Rebecca. Rebecca. Now, notice verse 28. Look at verse 28. Ang tawag po sa bahay ni Rebecca ay mother's household. Oops. Di ba sabi natin mga lalaki ang mayroong poder? Bakit mother's household? Pangalawa, tignan nyo yung pamamahalang. Sino ang nagdesisyon na pwede na umalis? Si Rebecca. Sa verse 15, si Laban. Tapos sabi doon, si Betuel. Medyo problemado yung verses, Kasi ang tatay ay si Betuel. Bakit yung bahay known as the mother's household, not the father's household? At bakit nung paalaman na ang malakas ang boses ay yung kapatid na lalaki? Yun ang unang minensyon, hindi yung tatay. Nagpapakita lamang po ito na si Betuel at this time was already advanced in age. Baldado na. Kaya, ang desisyon sa bahay, handled na nung asawa, at kung hindi man yung asawa, yung anak na lalaki. Yan ang ibig sabihin na. Yan ang dahilan why ganun ang expression ng Biblia. So matagal na kwentuhan, tumagal ang kwentuhan kasi dito po sa verse na ito, kwinento ulit ng Biblia yung nangyari sa verse 10 to 27. Napansin niya pag binabasa niyo? Kwinento ulit, word for word ng Bible, kung ano yung kwento sa verse 10 to 27, inulit sa verse 28 to 53, yung kwento ni Eliezer. No? Yung ganong sistema ng Biblia ay nagpapakita lamang na sa tingin ni Eliezer, ang nangyari is really the act of God. Kaya, it is again told word by word doon sa kwento. Yes, yun yung mga technique sa Bible, no? Kapag yung Bible, ang kwento sa una, ninarrate ulit. Ibig sabihin nyo, hindi basta-basta kwento yun. Yun ay act of God. Example, St. Paul will tell the story about his experience in Damascus 3 times. Word for word, 3 times in the Acts of the Apostles. Ibig sabihin mo, yung kwento ni Pablo yon ay experience of God para sa kanya. Okay? So, pagkatapos ng kwentuhan, then you have the parting of ways. Okay. Now, you will notice na tinanong si Rebecca. Sa verse 54 to 61, tinanong si Rebecca. And she said right away, I will go. What does that show? Dito pinibuild up na po yung character ni Rebecca. Anong klaseng babae si Rebecca? First, a very decisive woman. makikita natin yung ganitong karakter ni Rebecca later on, pagtanda ni Isaac. Ang magdidikta kung sino ang magiging tagapagmana ni Isaac ay si Rebecca. At ang kanyang ipapain sa blessing ay hindi ang panganay na si Esau, kung hindi ang kanyang paboritong anak na si Jacob. No? So makikita niyo na dito yung build-up ng character ni Rebecca, that she's a very decisive, very strong woman. But at the same time, sa pamagitan po ng kanyang I will go, nagpapakita rin ito ng similarity niya kay Abraham. Abraham is also like this. No? The father-in-law is also like this. No? So whatever God asks, He does. Example, yung dinaanan natin na kwento ng pagsasacrifice kay Isaac. No questions asked. Abraham went to the mountain to offer Isaac. So, makikita niyo yung kind of character that is flowing through the Bible. Anong klaseng mga karakter ang gamit ng Diyos sa kanyang plano? Dalawa. The obedient character and the decisive character. Obedient and decisive. Yun ang palaging makikita natin na magiging mark ng mga instruments of God in the Bible. They may not be perfect. They are not perfect. Like Peter. Peter is not perfect. But Peter was obedient and decisive. Kung isa ngayon, pagiging decisive ni Peter ay masyadong adelantado. No? Pero yun yung character na nakita sa kanya. And God always makes use of that kind of a personality. Okay? So, after that, the family blessed Rebecca. Verse 16. So, ang blessing kay Rebecca, to be the mother of thousands of 10,000s. And may your descendants possess the gate of those who hate them. It is the same blessing given to Abraham. To be the father of many nations, and then to have a land of his own. So makikita nyo, yung blessing is flowing this time from Abraham to Isaac, but by way of Rebecca. God begins to use a woman in the plan. Of course, later on, the greatest woman that God will use will be Mary. Pero dito, makikita natin na very obvious yung papel ng babae ay ina-affirm na ulit ng Bible. So finally, dun sa pagkikita ni Isaac at ni Rebecca sa verse 62 to 67, anong napansin nyo? Maliban to sa idyllic na pagkakakwento, notice the shift in the name. Earlier in the story, brothers and sisters, in Genesis 24 verse 12, Abraham is called Master. O Lord, God of my master Abraham. But later on, in Genesis 24, verse 65, the one who is already called Master is no longer Abraham, but Isaac. So, makikita natin how now the shift of the story of the Bible moves from Abraham to Isaac. No? With the marriage of Isaac to Rebecca. So, yun po yung interesting flow netong Genesis 24 na ito. No? So makikita nyo, when you read the Bible, the elements are very important. No? Even a single word, even a single phrase can find a meaningful interpretation. Kaya nga, sa pagbabasa ng Bible, it's very important to look into a commentary kasi doon mo lang makikita yung mga yun. No? Okay, now, questions about the development bago tayo pumunta sa next part, which is the reflection. Yes?
Lord Father, sa first part, nagtataka ako bakit yung servant ang ganun pa, pero yung nasa identify pa hindi sa kanya.
Oh, tama. No? So normally, it is you put your hand on your thigh. But dito, to put the hand in Abraham's thigh. Yan. So, bakit ganon? No? Baliktad. No? Itong ganitong sistema, normally is done in the olden times when a inferior person swears an oath before a superior character. So, kumbaga sa you are invoking the superiority of the master. So, kaya ganon, baliktad. But otherwise, normally, they swear on their own, they hold on their own. Pero dito, iba. Kasi nga, master si Abraham, servant itong si Eliezer. So yung difference of social class. So between your generation and my generation is more important because I am superior. So you swear on my generation. Other details? Kung wala ng question sa details, let's go to the lessons. Ano yung mga lessons? Ano po yung mga reflections na pwede natin kunin dito sa kwento ng kasalan ni Isaac at ni Rebecca? Okay. Una, I think the first very important lesson na ina-affirm po dito sa ating kwento ngayong gabi is that God is the protagonist, the main character. God is the protagonist. God is the main character in every event of our life. So, ang Diyos ang pangunahing personality sa bawat pangyayari sa buhay natin. So, dito, halimbawa, you would notice that bagamat nagplano si Abraham at pinasumpa niya si Eliezer, okay, you would notice how both of them always invoke God. Even Eliezer had to pray before he makes a choice. And then, makikita natin na sa pagpili kay Rebecca, Eliezer credited not himself. Kung hindi, sabi niya, God has made my trip successful. So, para sa kanila, ang gumagalaw sa likod ng lahat ng mga pangyayari, ang nagtatagpi-tagpi sa lahat ng mga detalye, ay walang iba kung hindi ang Diyos. So, God as the protagonist of all the events. No? Pangalawa, makikita po natin dito sa ating pong lesson, ating ding kwento ngayong gabi, yung tinatawag natin lesson of faith. Faith as confidence. Ang pananampalataya bilang kumpiyansa. At ito makikita natin sa karakter ni Abraham mismo. No? Sabi ko nga sa inyo, wala siyang plan B. Naniniwala siya na may plano ang Diyos. Kung ito ang plano ng Diyos, ito, wala nang iba. So, he is confident that this is going to happen. Kaya nung nagtatanong yung servant kung anong plan B, sabi niya wala. Kung hindi aayon yung mapipili, anong gagawin? Sabi niya servant, sabi ni Abraham, wala. Wala kang babaguhin. So, faith as confidence. I think this is another very strong lesson na makukuha po natin. Pangatlo, in this particular Genesis chapter 24, we see the very important reminder of evangelization of the household. Yan. Napakahalaga, no? Na para sa atin, dapat ang pananampalataya natin na hindi lamang ibinabahagi sa pamilya kung hindi sa buong kabahayan. No? Kasama, pati kasambahay. Household, hindi lamang yung family. No? Nagsisimba kami, Father, linggo-linggo. Ako, mister ko, at yung anak ko. Kwenta no, yung driver, binibigyan mo ba ng panahong magsimba? Yung katulong mo, bahala na sila doon, Father, basta kami nagsimba. Malay ko sa pananampalataya nila. Basta pagdating namin sa bahay, dapat nakahain. Evangelization is not only for the family. It is for the household. Nakita niyo kung paano isang simpleng katiwala ni Abraham begins to share his own faith. So, faith has to be shared not only in the family, but with the whole household. You have to evangelize everyone in the household. So, yan ang isang bagay din na makikita po natin dito. Okay. Now, sabi natin, itong kwentong ito speaks a lot about marriage. Okay. What about marriage and family naman na makikita natin dito sa kwentong ito? I think dito, ina-underline yung importance po ng character. Ang consideration sa pagpili kay Rebecca ay hindi lamang pandabas na anyo, hindi lamang po yung pagiging qualified niya bilang kinsman, kinswoman ni Abraham, kung hindi yung kanyang kagandahang loob. No? The character. No? And the character of the person shows in the little things that the person does. Ayan. Lumalabas yun. Kung very observant ka, there are certain differences of action na magpapakita sa character ng isang tao. And that is very important. Another thing about marriage is that dito po makikita natin na what made the marriage of Isaac and Rebecca something that is very strong is because also of their of the decisiveness of their love. No? So, yung kanilang love towards each other is greater than anything. Yung kanilang love for one another is greater than anything. How does that show in Rebecca? Makikita po natin ito kay Rebecca nung magpapaalam na, mapansin natin, ang unang naging balakid sa paalaman ay yung nanay. Sabi ng nanay, hayaan mo muna mag-stay siya dito ng